Hi guys, how are you doing? So there's a lot to discuss today, and specifically, we would be looking at the data that is coming out. So this is the data that is out here right now. Just a sec, guys. Yeah. So this is the data that is coming out. So at 2 a.m., that is Eastern Standard Time, we would be having yen data that is coming out for the machine tool order yearly. Along with that, we are having an ECOFIN meeting for the euro, and for USD at 6 a.m. we would be having a small business index data that would be announcing, and then CB lead index, and then this is the important data that is coming out, that is the job openings. So we would be discussing that, and at 7:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time we would be having the yen's PPIs and BSI manufacturing index. So let's look into the detail that how specifically things are currently looking. So if we look at the preliminary machine tool order, is the change in the total value of the new orders placed with the machine tool manufacturers. So this data covers the machine tool manufacturers, and the actual is greater than the forecast. So how many new orders are placed with the machine tool association, that is the Japan Machine Tool Builder Association. So this data actually represents the good economy, that more orders is placed. It means that more production is going on. So ECOFIN meeting are usually held in the Brussels and attended by the finance minister of European Union member, and they discuss the range of the financial issues such as euro sport mechanics and government finances. Just a sec, guys, there's an issue going on with the stream. So there's a latency going on. Just a sec, let me adjust it. On the vertical stream, the latency is going on. Error is still in the place right now, so maybe the short streams are having the issue. But anyway, so this is the ECOFIN meeting that are usually held in the Brussels and attended by the finance minister from the European Union member state, and they discuss the wide range of the financial issues such as the euro sport talk mechanism and the government finances. And meetings are closed to the press, but officials usually talk with the reporters throughout the day, and a formal statement covering the meeting objective will be released after the meeting have concluded. So it's actually the financial decision making body that incorporates the 28 members of the state, and the initiatives and decisions can be widespread effect on the economic health of the eurozone. So then there is an FIB, that is a small business, the level of the composite index based on a surveyed small businesses, and the small enterprises are defined as an independent of profit enterprises that employ between 1 to 50 people. And survey of the small business which also responded to rate the relative level of the economic condition, including the labor market, inventories, sales, and capital spending, inflation earning, and wage and credit markets. So these are certainly the data that actually comes out. And then we have this pound CB. This is basically the conference board and the change in the level of composite index based on 7 economic indicators. And the index is designed to predict the direction of the economy, but it tends to have muted the impact because most of the indicators used in the calculation are released previously. And combined reading of the 7 economic indicators related to the production new order. So it is related to the this is the board actually, which is based on the covering up the 7 indicators that are the production new order, consumer confidence, stock prices, and index rate spreads. And it is an important leading indicator, so anything that is leading indicator is really important. So actual good is good for the currency forecast. Just give me a sec, guys. I'm gonna check this. Let's see how the stream runs on the shorts. So the problem is coming with the shorts right now of the stream. So next we have BSI manufacturing index, and BSI manufacturing index is the level of the diffusion based on the surveyed large manufacturers. So this is for the yens, by the way, and above 0 indicates optimism. And it is basically on the large manufacturer index, that's why it's known as a manufacturing index. It's just like we do have like PMIs, it's something like that. And it also is a leading indicator because the business react quickly to the market conditions, and changes in the sentiments is an early sign for the future economic activity, spending, hiring. And survey about 14,400 large manufacturers, which asked the respondent to rate the relative level of the businesses in general conditions. So the bigger figure is better, and hopefully the things would be positive in yens. And then PPI, the change in the prices of goods sold by the corporations. So PPI is the changes in the prices of goods sold by the corporation, is a leading indication of consumer inflation. So it's directly linked to the CPIs, and when the corporations raise the price of goods, the higher costs are usually passed on the consumers. So it's like it is really important that when the prices of the goods are increased by the corporations, they are either being purchased by the consumers or not. That actually defines this rate. So when we jump into the news, we can see that there are certain fundamentals out there that the United States is not going to be subsidizing Canada any longer. So it says that despite the fact that Canada is charging the US from 250% to 390% tariffs on many of the farm products, so Ontario just announced that 20% of the surcharge on the electricity of all things, and not even allowed to do that. So they are right now, like it's a big confusion right now. So that US is not subsidizing Canada means that US is not providing any sort of subsidy to the Canada anymore. and this subsidy was important for Canada, and we can see that it's not providing. Or and there is another data that is 11 hours ago that news that shows that Trump is undermining the dollar's global financing reserve rules. So it's just like putting some of the pressure out there, and the most important thing is that US is not subsidizing Canada, so we can keep that in our mind. And secondly, there's a data for the news for the Chinese that China is 41 billion plan to boost the consumption is just a start as a deflationary. We can look into that. Pressure deepens. So China's latest move on the boost consumption isn't mean that all the JOLTS, that is the job openings for the labor survey. It's a survey for the labor, basically all kinds of the spendings. Policymakers last week double subsidies for the consumers trade-in program, and it is something related to the China right now. And so most important data that is coming out is the JOLTS. So it is the number of job openings during the reported months, excluding the farming industry. So now the thing is that this JOLTS is really important because it shows the job openings during the reported month. So this shows the job openings for the this March right now, and we can see that the actual is good than forecast. So there might be the job openings around 7.65 million that is forecasted. So job creation is an important indicator, that it is a leading indicator for consumer spending, because more jobs will be created, so more people would be spending money, and that can overall enhance the economic activities. So it's simply like that. So let's see how things run, and if we see the overview around here, we can see that that dollar is a bit weak right here. We can see that. So pound isn't showing the strength, yens are down, Swiss is going a little bit of up. I think that's not a really updated version, but we can discuss that later on within the stream. So let's look at the DXY, that how things were looking, because on Monday we didn't had much of the data for us. So it's right here in front of the DXY is in front of us, and let's see how things actually looks in. So right here you can see the DXY has been in a downtrend, and we have been like discussing that from quite a long time, that right here we saw that prices actually broke out of this structure down there. We saw a small pullback, prices went down, formed this range right here, broke out on the upper side, took the liquidity around here, and as the liquidity was taken, then the prices started dumping, broke this structure, gave us a simple pullback around this point, went down, and even like gave a low hanging fruit trade around here, and then prices are literally on the downside like that. So most probable expectation for me was actually that before talking about that, you can see right here that this was the level, and we got a small reaction around here as well. So before previous day of the week of the close, I was expecting a certain kind of reaction around this point. That's why I made that order block around here, because this was the point where we saw that the election began and the bullish range for the DXY started around here. But the way the dollar is right now performing, and overall the data looks really good for the dollar. It's not as bad as actually the prices are acting, but it's more based on the idea of the panic because of the tariff thing. And we can see right here that how specifically like the prices broke out of this range around here, making this move on the upper side and giving this V-shaped structure that we can see. That is a peak formation high around here, and then prices went down there, and right now stopping above here. So what's next for us? So there is nothing next for us, in a sense that uh, we didn't even got any kind of proper range, number one thing. And if we had gotten a range around here, then we could have like said any appropriate thing, because if the prices start ranging, and if the breaks on the upper side, then we can expect the move on the upper side like that. But if the prices start breaking on the downside, so we might see the prices moving further downside, even they can reach towards the 100 level as well, that is right here. And prices even can like reach back down there, but certainly we can see that there is a little bit of the bullish pump around here. So if we see on the daily right here that how things are, we do see that there was some of the resistance around here. You can see that buyers were taking control, so price opened around here and went back down and went back up and closed around here. So it's certainly that the dollar is showing a little bit of strength, but still not as strengthful as it should have been. So let's see, because the dollar, if the dollar is not gaining enough of the strength, so the volatility in the market wouldn't be as great as it should be, because we would be having much more data out here on specifically on, let me tell you, on Wednesday and Thursday we would be having a great amount of data. So it's just the beginning of the week, so there are certain times in the week that you can actually expect prices to be really in the range, because the data isn't there. So just remember that market is a data driven market, so we need to actually wait for the exact amount of data that are out there. So let's move to the next pairs. So while looking at USD CAD, there was a specifically at this moment around here, so this was like a Monday, so there was a change in the prime minister for the Canadian dollar. A new prime minister came for the Canadian dollar, and that might make a little bit of difference around here. If I can find the exact news for you guys. So right here you can see that Canada's new prime minister has managed the financial crisis, Brexit, and now Trump trade war. And this is a new prime minister for the Canada, and the Trudeau has been changed now. So his name is Mark Carney, and will become a prime minister after the governing elected party elected him as a leader. So let's see how things would be run in the Canadian dollar. And the idea for to showing you all this was to that how fundamentals actually impact. And you can see right here that there wasn't much of the data specifically in the USD dollar, right? and the dollar was like making lows around here, like the way I showed you in the previous chart. So we can see that how the weakness actually happened within the Canadian dollar around here, and there was a push on the upper side with this news, and it showed that the Canadian dollar got more weak because of this new prime minister right here. So, and the subsidy part right now, which we discussed, that the US has like stopped the subsidy for the Canada right here. We can see that there's a pump that is again building up, and if we see technically right here, like around about at this moment, we can see that there's a small breakout that happened around here, and price is pulling back a little bit, and let's see how things actually go from here. So there is much likelihood that a price would be continuing like that on the upper side. So but the new prime minister thing has to be, if I can find an exact level. Okay, later on I can actually set this level up. I'm gonna like keep my notes in front of me so that if there is some kind of opportunity, so I can actually note it down. So now we have USD CHF, the Swiss, and we can see right here that dollar is continuously going on the downside trend, like that 1 2 3 pattern or ABC pattern right here, and pushing it on the downside like that. And on the other hand, the most important thing right now is this sideways data around here. We can see that the prices tried to break on the upper side around here, but failed around this point, gave us a pullback, but it wasn't that hard even to break on the downside like that. So it's really important to see that this range formation that is occurring right now. So you guys need to remember that, for example, when there's a downtrend like that, and if the prices start forming a channel and then it's going into the range sideways, so it's going into the channel, then it goes into the range, and then we might expect a breakout. So this is how the prices actually like turns around. This is a reversal pattern that I kind of like explained right now. So it's really an ambiguous move in a sense right now for us to actually totally understand that how the dollar is reacting. So for that reason, I want to like place my alert right there on the downside, that if it breaks, so that I can get a signal. But most likelihood is with this candle that actually engulfed everything, with that seems like it could actually lead to the movement on the upper side if the dollar gets strong. Although I personally believe with the JOLTS data tomorrow, there might be a reaction on the upper side. So USD JPY, it's extremely weak in front. USD is extremely weak in the front of yens right here, and it is continuously giving us a downside move like that. So in order, I wouldn't like say you guys to like catch a downtrend move like that, but instead wait for the pullback, and then we can actually expect a move on the downside like that further. So you can see that the reversal that has almost happened around about like 1236 pips. It's a lot of big moves, and we got like a good amount of chances in there as well. Like this move chance, this was a good move chance, this is a good move chance. Even the breakout around here gave us some of the pips around there, and this was a good move on the downside like that. So yen has been like a super strong in this movement right now. For euro, there was we can see that the breakout actually happened around here, and prices is like continuously moving on the upper side like that. And this is the current low point that the prices have created, and this is the high point right here, and this is the range that is actually developing right now. And if we like zoom into this range right here, we can actually see that how the prices has been like breaking on the upper side, giving us a small pullback, but right now we can see the rejection around this point, and we might see a prices coming like that downside, because if the dollar gets strong, and on the other hand, if we consider this as a high and this as a low right here, there might be a chance of like creating a triple top, and then prices might come down like that. So we actually need the prices to actually break on either side. So let's wait for this point, because this is an important level right here, and it's a single support right now, and if things, it might clear up in few days. Because guys, you need to remember that the trades are not every day. I don't take scalp moves. I only take the swing moves, and swing moves are the easy to understand, makes sense if you align it with the data as well. So that's why I spend my time on fundamentals for a while. So here we see a euro GBP right here. It's a combination for euro and pound. So so in this pair right here, you can see that this is a base pair and this is a quote pair, right? So it shows that euro is far more stronger than the pound, because that's why we had this bullish momentum move up here. And if the euro is that strong, so in that case we have to see that it's still bullish. Just a sec. Sorry guys, excuse me. So this is how things are specifically looking in relation to the euro and GBP right here. We see that the channel has been driving up, and this is one push, this is a second push, and this is a third push, and we might even see a break on the upper side. So most likelihood is that we can even start planning a trade around here, because this is what I believe, that the prices can even reach to this high above here. There might be a certain reaction around this point that I expect, but prices can go on the upper side like that. So let's see how things look. But I believe that euros are far more stronger right now than pound, and euro Aussie, we can see that euros are stronger here as well as in the Aussies, and there was like a pullback around here, and pullback happened around here exactly level to level, and then prices broke on the upper side like that, and is reaching around here to this principle, that is the point of interest. And we can see the principal interest in the daily right now. I've kept it a little bit smaller right here, because there's enough of the price action on the upper side, but it's quite on the back side that the 4-hour chart isn't even like covering right now. So let's see how specifically euro reacts, because euro is quite strong right here. You can see that this is around about 900 pip move that happened, and similarly when it comes to euro NZD, we can see that prices are pushing on the upper side like that against NZD as well, and there's a lot of momentum out there on the upper side as well, but the charts are not covering that on the smaller time frame. Because so in the daily we can see that the prices are pushing on the upper side. So it's not the point of worrisome in a sense that if the data isn't available on the time frame which you trade, but let's wait for the price action to develop. So in that case, it's better for us to develop the wait for the developed price action, or let the price action unfolds itself. But if we see it currently that it is still bullish and even stronger than before. And similarly, euro CAD right here, we saw that prices actually make a peak formation around here. A little bit of it pushed the prices on the downside, but it failed around here, because for that kind of like a reaction to the prices to turn around, it would be much better, guys, that if the prices actually break this structure around here and then start reversing around. But it is not happening, and if it is not happening, it means that we have to wait until the price action actually develops itself. And euro JPY, we saw that in USD JPY the prices were even so much down. And if you can recall, when we were discussing the USD JPY, that the prices were like on the downtrend like that. And in that case, we see that euro is stronger, but yens are also stronger. And if euro is stronger and yens is stronger, so it means that the prices would be going into the sideways range. And this is what we are witnessing right here, that euro is stronger and yen is also stronger. So prices are on the sideways because they both are equally stronger. So similarly, structure in USD CHF, although we can see a great move on the downside like that, a pullback and continuation, then a low hanging fruit trade around here, and then we saw another push by the euro on the upper side, and right now the price is developing. So it's a underdeveloped price action right now. But most important thing to understand is that we do have this range around here. This is a small range that prices are actually forming, and let's see how this range actually acts in future. So if in case it breaks down any sort of a pullback that happens, you can actually enter around here to take this type of move. But just remember that it won't be happening soon, it would be taking time. So GBP USD, we are looking at this range formation around here, a wonderful range right now. And what we can actually see that this range around here is has given us like three double tops around here, sorry, triple top around here, one touch, two touch, three touch, and prices right now pushing and breaking on the downside like that. But we didn't see that type of reaction in the euro. But as we can see that the euro GBP showed us that euro was stronger, so it means that pound is weaker than euro. But with the pound USD, we can see that there is a certain kind of weakness that we can actually discuss. And on the other hand, this could be another like head and shoulder as well, a little bit of it. But still there is a lot of things required, because what I would be suggesting, that if this is a real move on the downside, or if the trend is being shifted, wait till the prices come down around here, maybe to this order block right now. And on any sort of pullback, if the prices come back to break and making small lower lows and lower highs, and then you can actually take a trade on the downside. That would be much more solid position, rather than like entering here right now. I'm quite sure that many people would be entering here, and they might even make the profit later on in the day based on this push that is happening right now. But there is a lot of other things that we need to actually consider, that is the correlation that is existent. And when we see that GBP Aussie, we can see right here that the Aussies has almost like broken out. And right here we can see that the prices as they broke out around this structure, they gave us a pullback on the downside exactly to this level. Around here, around the 50% of this range, we saw a pullback, and then the prices are breaking on the upper side. So there is no weakness that is actually shown in here. So the idea is that Aussies are super weak. This is what the idea I'm getting right now in front of the pound, and similar structure the yens. We can see that from this order block around here, we did got a reaction, and the prices pulled back around here and now pushing on the upper side like that. So let's see that how specifically price actually reacts around this range. Most probably like price is going to break on the upper side like that, and seems like yens are stronger than NZDs right here, and sorry, pound are stronger than NZDs right here, and similarly like pound CAD, and pound CAD is giving us a small pullbacks around here. Like this is a small pullback the pound CAD gave, and now this is a small pullback the pound CAD gave. This was a small pullback, and it is continuously like pushing on the upper side. So seems like like you need to understand that about the specific tops, that there is no tops in the currencies when it comes to trading, that how in the stocks that overbought and oversold concept, these things doesn't work in here. So you need to align everything with the fundamentals, and in order to like actually understand or study this price action. So yens, when compared with the pounds, we can see that there was this big wick. Prices were, this was the range actually which I was looking at, and after that this range, if you visually see this range, we can see that prices came out and then came back in, and then again went back out, and then gave this structure around here, and then again pulled back, and then again coming back into the range, and prices is coming on the downside. So seems like the pounds are weaker in front of yens. That's why we are seeing this type of move, but still we are within the range, and there's nothing out here right now. But most probably, like we discussed that, I was telling you in the Friday stream, if you guys haven't seen that this range would be fulfilled because of this move around here, because of this clear structure, and you can see that how the prices came back down. But the most important thing to remember is that the candlestick pattern, or the price action pattern right here, isn't as clear as it should have been. So this make enough sense that this make enough sense right now that the price action is not clear. We do have like the candles with big wicks, and when the candle with big wicks develop, it shows that each time the buyers are pushing the prices on the upper side but failing, and we can see that is a really dangerous form of a price action, and can really put a trader into a messy position, because we need a clear price action, something like this or something like that. But this is not a clear price action, and let's see how specifically the prices develop, because overall the yens are taking in control of the pound right here. Then pound Swiss, we can see that pound is also weaker in front of Swiss. What we are looking at is that the prices actually broke out of this range right here, and then came back with the good amount of pressure. So let's see that if the prices break out of this zone around here, then we can actually observe the selling structures for the pounds. And on the other hand, if the prices goes up and reacts around this order block, then we can expect a move exactly to this point back there. But overall the pound is weaker in front of Swiss. AUD USD, we can see right here that Aussies are quite weak in front of euros right now, and the prices went up, came back down, failed to break on the upper side, that is failed to create a higher high around here and gave us a break of structure. That is a good sign for an early weakness, and the strength in the USD right here. And still there is a good amount of price action that needs to be unfolded right now, but overall it seems like the dollar is getting stronger in front of the Aussies right here. So Aussies are quite weak, and if we see Australian dollar compared with the New Zealand dollar, we can see that Aussies are more stronger than NZD right now, but in previous days the NZDs were stronger, but now the Aussies are quite stronger, and the reaction that is happening around is around this order block right here, around this support right here, and it's a good sign that Aussies are taking the control over the yens right now. Aussies are taking the control over the Kiwis right now, and we can see the push that is being built up right now. So this could be a wonderful position as well, if in comparison with the other pairs with the Aussies like Euro, Aussie, and if the weakness starts to happen between like Euro, Aussie, or even in the Canadian Aussie, and even in yens and Swiss with the Aussies, then we can actually observe the strength in the Aussies right now. But overall it seems like Aussies are stronger than the New Zealand Kiwis, and this could be a wonderful opportunity. So for me, I would be keeping an eye on it, that how things are looking. Then AUD CAD right here. AUD CAD has given us this amazing breakout around here, but failed breakout. Prices came back again, went up, took the liquidity around here and gave us this selling structure move around here. And as we know that Aussies are weak, and Aussies are weaker than the CAD, so prices are being dumped really quickly. And this is, if we see it on the daily time frame, we can actually observe it better. So the new day candle is opening around here, 500, around 585 level. So this is the opening around about for the new candle. So let's see how the new day develop, because the previous day was actually a doji around here, you see. So much more probabilities towards on the downside, as Canadian dollar is taking the control and Aussies are being pushed on the downside. But for example, we can actually compare the New Zealand Kiwis with the Canadian dollar, and then we can actually see that how the most probably the New Zealand Kiwis would be weaker as compared to the Canadian dollar as well. And we can see that yens are stronger around here. We saw this reaction happening and a small pullbacks, and now the prices are reaching towards the support level again. So Australian dollar seems to be quite weak, and in front of Swiss as well, we can see that Australian dollar is quite weak. And we can see that the similar structure right here in the New Zealand Kiwis, that we can see a pullback, and prices failed to break the higher highs. Like, this is the momentum that happened, prices went back down. So how the market structure should have formed to create a higher high, that shows the strength, that it should break, come back and continue like that. But in this case, we can see that the momentum of the bullish momentum kind of decreased, and we can see a clear break of structure around here, and prices are pushing on the downside like that. So Seems like kiwis are quite weak again. With the kiwis, which I told you about, like kiwis with the Canadian dollar loonies, we can see that the prices are quite weak and pushing on the downside, similar to the Australian dollar. But overall it matters that the trend, when the trend would be shifting, but right now the trend isn't shifting, but it shows enough of the weakness that can help us to enter early. And similar structure with NZD JPY. Right here we can see that yens are stronger and taking over the control, and NZD CHF shows that kiwis are quite weak in front of the Swissies, and prices are pushing on the downside like that as well. So right here we can see that CAD JPY pair, and if we see that the Canadian dollar is weak, but it is gaining a little bit of momentum with this type of candles. But overall the prices would be in the range, most probably because we have seen that yens are quite stronger right now. But it has given us a wonderful move right here. You can see that this is a small doji around here. This is a morning star, sorry, evening star pattern around here, and you can see that after that we got a good push on the downside. But right now the prices are accumulating here based on this range right here. You can see that this was the move that actually pushed the prices really on the top side. When the prices touch this level, this is around about 1.10163.6, that the prices gave us a good reaction around this point. So now we can see that either the momentum is building, or either the big players are getting out but after locking in a lot of profits. So similarly CAD CHF, we can see that the Canadian dollar is quite weak right now. Right here as well we can see a little bit of momentum push on the upper side on the bullish, but overall the trend is on the downside with the weakness. And now Swiss JPY is, guys, within the range, because as we know that the Swiss along with the yens, they would be going into the range absolutely, because the idea is that both of the pairs are quite strong right now. And this is, guys, over, and we're back to the XY right now. So I hope it makes enough of sense right now that how we actually need to analyze these forex pairs based on the correlation effect as well, and on the fundamentals as well. So thank you guys, and take care.